All right, so we are going to jump into game one. This is Brian. I am here with George. This is going to be game one with Blue Vegeta versus Green Android. Well, I guess Android 17, right?
Yeah. So it's going to start off with one way, but then eventually, surely we're going to see the twins kick in together. And Green versus Blue produces some very interesting matchups because both decks very much capable of going into late game. So it's going to be seeing how well the Android player here is going to be able to utilize those powerful 2 and 4 drop Androids to apply that early pressure. But Blue can be so defensive.
Yeah, not only so defensive, but when you really think about it, a little aggressive too, right? Because they got a lot of recursion. They got Blue Vegeta's Awaken side to give that power boost. But we're going to go ahead and start out with the simple Green Bulma. I'm sure we're not going to see too many things. We got a couple of things in our hand right now for Blue Vegeta. Maybe playing out that Videl that we see in our hand here as we go ahead and swing 15 to 15 from leader to leader.
Yeah, so this one drop of Videl able to play out some vanillas, allowing Blue to get a very aggressive start. And it's always a good time for Blue when you can start playing out a board that forces your opponent to have to play against your board as opposed to aggressing your leader, which gets you into that late game that you're really looking for. And Vegeta in a very smooth position here, sitting on things like Sickle for the late game. But here we see our Androids player just press down and say, I'm down to 6 life. I think I need to do the same to you. So very aggressive starts from both of these players here.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to have a nice little, 3 costs for a 1. I guess for 2, right? Videl says that activate main, pay 1 if you have 7 or less. You get to play that 1 skill list from your hand. That's 3 or less. But hey, Android 17 has his own 1 drops. It did its thing. Got a couple of combo powers and little tutors. But we're gonna go ahead and get right back into Blue Vegeta's turn.
Yeah, so here comboing away of the Android, and of course Androids want to get a certain depth of Androids in their drop area to make their combo plays work. Being able to ramp from the drop is their specialty here, but 3 cost Vegito here in a position to say no, and a bottom deck opting into bottom deck Bulma as opposed to the Android here. Very interesting in terms of just not robbing away an opportunity to get a free Android in drop here, but the aggression continues. And this vanilla package comboed in with this Vegeta is going to pressure this Android player quite a bit.
Yeah, depending on this build, we've seen the Android deck evolve throughout the sets, and where we are right now, I think we still have some ramp capabilities. Obviously, the Duro in our hand, just like you were saying, we need more and more of those Androids in our drop area. So it's a little bit of a bummer that we didn't bottom deck one or bottom deck the other one, but I think we have a bit of a plan as we go for that one. And I'm sure that we're going to be able to play that Duro's Lab on curve here, but we'll see. We got a couple options in our Android 17 player's hand.
Yes, absolutely, as well as the fact that we're now awakened as the Android player here provides some great opportunity to be able to apply pressure. We're now a 20k leader. Android 18 has joined the fight, and we're continuing to pressure on the leader, saying, you know what, the late game is not how I'm going to get there. Let's see if I can keep pushing you to the brink with leader swings. And I love that little Tekken of the secret rare Teen Gohan there in our Android player's hand, just saying, you know what, I'm not too worried about this board because eventually I'm going to be able to power ramp my way through into a board wipe, potentially back-to-back board wipes, which are really powerful. And then take control of this game once more. So just like you were calling it, here comes down the field, and now we're going to swap away that energy marker for some true energy on the Android side.
Yeah, pretty good. Hopefully we can get some more Androids down into our drop area, so that way we can actually use our field card and continue to ramp. It looks like we did get another 4 cost, actually our first 4 cost Android 17 and 18 in our hand. That's going to be pretty handy when we do quote-unquote ramp and use those things in our drop area. But hey, Blue Vegeta says no. We're going to go ahead and use our Sudden Gohan Adolescence, our 4 costs, if we have 4 or less in our hand, and return those Androids back to the deck. That's a bit hurtful. I'm an Android fan. That's a little hurtful there.
Yeah, that was a lot. It was the bottom decking, so now you're forcing combo out of hand. It's such a huge tempo swing, and it was very funny. We saw the initial play about playing out the Videl, and then said, no, you know what, we're going to opt to bottom deck the stuff here. And it's just massive boards of 25k, 25k, 30k. Here, opting to not combo, which makes sense. We want to keep our hand defensively, But swinging for 30k combo would be forcing a lot more cards out of the Android player's hand here. So here we're just gonna leave it as is, drain the hand. And as Androids here, we do actually have the powerful 4-drop. So if we can save off some offense, we can put ourselves in a position to ramp, get ourselves to 6 energy, and swing for 30k back. So here we've got the 30k Gohan swing. Let's see if we're going to combo out of it. Super combo out of hand. And that should be everything that was written for Vegeta's very tempo-y and very aggressive turn.
Yeah, we're not even awakened. We're doing so much damage, and I think that's the whole point of this deck, right? We were able to play all these mid to low cost cards and just swing over and over again. And that Videl is still there, by the way. That 1-cost Videl, you know, she's still, you know, she's just looking. She's just looking for another skillless card to be played from the hand. And the thing about this is that, you know, as you ramp as Android 17, or really any other green deck that might be doing the same, you know, you have to save off this power, and we have to you know, defend in the right way. And we're getting to a point where, hey, we're going to be able to use our combo cards from the last turn with Dr. Gero to ramp that one. We're likely going to be using our 4-cost 17-18 card, because most of the cards in our hand really don't speak to us very well the same way. So hopefully we can have a very efficient turn, you know, stave off a little bit from the cards that we lost in the last battle. So we'll see what we do here.
Yeah, and Vegeta here taking good advantage of the fact that in the set 3 format, green doesn't really have a ton of early game removal tools. So the earlier we can stick the bodies and the earlier we can keep on pressuring, the harder it is going to be for the Androids player to be able to answer that at a quick speed. And we do have that Zeno sitting in our back pocket for whenever the opponent does drop their big beefy bomb. So a little bit of security there. Here Androids deciding it is time to do a little bit of board cleanup. So swinging that 35k into the 3-cost Vegito, but Vegeta here says no and combos out of the attack for energy up. Likely here to see the 4-drop twins finally make their appearance and ramping our Android player here up to 7 energy. And it's such a powerful play here that we're about to see in a moment. Just the 20k, 10k combo if you ever need it on defense, 4-drop body, which is very impactful for the certain removals that are in certain decks, all for 1 energy when everything is said and done. So very powerful play here for our Android player. And of course the 3 energy open afterwards to be able to maybe do something like 2-drop Android, apply a little bit more pressure on the board, be able to draw cards. But this is a very awkward position now for our Android player, because now it's not only do they need to decide between being able to control the board or aggroing the opponent, but now if they aggro the opponent, they're turning on the Vegeta's leader ability to be able to 35k attacker. So it almost feels like a very tight lose-lose position here, and we're gonna have to see in what ways the twins here are going to be able to potentially bounce this game back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, you know, if we do end up using our 3 energy here on our 17-18 turn, which, hey, we're going to use our destructive strength to ramp 1 more card, and that one was inactive. So we're really using all of our cards in our hand efficiently, right? We're going to be able to use that 1-cost Android 20 to get another 4-cost, another 10k in our hand, be able to use that next turn if we need to. We have 8 energy now, so if we survive this turn, which I'm sure we will, we'll be able to really do some damage in our ramped up deck. But hey, Vegeta says no. We're going to go ahead and keep going. We're going to use the card that we just played on the field to get to 20, and we have a bunch of other attacks still, right? This is the thing. This is what this deck is all about. We're going to keep going and not have any relention. Is that a word? Being relentful?
Being relentless?
Oh, there you go. Being relentless. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, no, it's a squeaky position, and like Vegeta is like chilling right now. We've got the 1-drop peel off times 3. So now we're in a position where Vegeta doesn't even have to really drain his hands to be able to be netting advantage. We can play peel off, combo him away, and that combo away will get us above the threshold where the opponent can combo with 1 card. And in a position where you're defensive with no energy, that's exactly where droids want to be. So here the Videl play, being able to cycle a 1-drop, we're going to be able to play the Trunks, which will get our 25ks to 30ks when we're attacking. So some very beautiful numbers here working out for Vegeta's benefit. And if we're ever in a world where we feel stressed and need to combo away our stuff, we can just use our peel off to be able to get them back. So need to do as much damage as possible here before the eventual 7-drop that we're going to see, and then we'll have to wait and see how Vegeta answers that. But that Zeno in that back pocket provides a great opportunity at a very low cost.
Yeah, it's gonna get rid of that Dr. Gero's feel. That's something that people forget all the time. But that is just another thing to keep in mind. But hey, we're going 30 for 30, man, and we're being rewarded for a super combo on the defense, and it's just the perfect amount. Outside of 40, 30 is gonna ask you for 2 cards, and now Peel Off is gonna say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that Vidal that we see here, which is funny because we have 2 skillless cards in our hands. So we're gonna see if this next attack gets through. That Peel Off going straight to the drop, making sure that we keep it there, so that way we have another Peel Off in hand or wherever, play and get it right back. But hey, Android 17 says we are not backing down. We're gonna get to the next turn, and hopefully we'll see some progress from all this relentless attacks. There you go. All the relentless
there you
attacks.
rubbed it in. Yeah, so you're very likely to see some stabilization from the androids in terms of just being able to play their 7-drop and clearing the board. And this is what we're talking about, how when you're up against Vegeta, you're stuck making some very tough decisions, because here inevitably we're going to 7-drop to be able to clear the board, but we can't attack the opponent to try to keep on closing the game, because then we just awaken the Vegeta leader. He swings for 35,000. It's even harder. So it's almost like androids need to get in such a dominating board position before being allowed to commit into attacking the opposing leader, which just gives blue even more time to be able to click on over. I mean, we've had such an aggressive start with all these 25Ks, and eventually we're going to be pushing in with things like the 5-drop and 6-drop Vegetos, most certainly. So the more time you're giving these blue decks, the more time you're giving them to be able to just press into you. So that's the power of Vegeta. But here we will see 7-drop Son Gohan Childhood Secret Rare board out the entire board, and now we have stabilized, but the hand positions are very different, and this is where Hercule will really bring it together. At 6 or more energy, you're able to bring back 2 Earthlings. He himself is a 10k combo, so effectively we're bringing back, we're getting 20k on top of his 10k as just defensive combo power, which should help some of that stabilization. But Peel Off is positioning to make this a very powerful tempo turn for our Vegeta player.
Yeah, Peel Off does Peel Off things, you know, getting him right back from the drop area, and you know, we got that Vidal, so after we swing here, get another option in our hand and see what we can do, get that 25k into his 10k defense, that type of thing. We can kind of decide if we want to use this Vidal, which it looks like we are, to get back down a skillless card, and we might use this other Peel Off in our hand to continue the comboing of combos, literally getting combo and making the combos to do combo.
Yeah, there's a world here where we can actually try to spread the attack and like combo everything into Vidal to get like an additional swing in. But of course we could just combo everything into this for a 45k swing, likely to go through, getting down to 2 health here. But Vegeta having no bombs doesn't really matter too much, because he himself is a bomb whenever the opponent just decides to attack into him. On the Awakened side, being a 35k attacker is huge. And of course we've got the Peel Off loops that we'll be able to do the entire rest of the game to be able to keep up combo power. So being at 2, tough. Of course, if we've got the double striker here in our Vegeta deck, can very much close out the game. But this is that stabilizing moment now for androids. They have a potential Broly that they just drew, so what a heck of a top deck. And between balancing that, between the leader draws, it's just how do you optimize for the turns here? So we can swing into Great Saiyaman here, potentially get ourselves a draw, and then, you know, do we want to start attacking to Vegeta? We're at 2 life. How likely are we to survive? But the beauty here, we are at 10 energy, so we can still play a Broly while holding up that extra card, which can provide us either a card draw without comboing an attack. So there are definitely lines here where we can start potentially closing out the game. It may be a multi-turn procedure here for androids, but it is not over yet.
And it looks like they're opting into swinging to the Great Saiyaman with the leader. Let's get that 1 draw, find out what we have from our top deck. We're not going to defend this because we kind of want to, you know, awaken. So if they're going to do something as far as another attack on the Android 17 side, then it's best for us to just let it go and make them attack our face. And not the greatest draw, but we have 3 attacks that are hurt really bad here.
And it's just like, you must know that as a blue opponent, you're going to be facing a Zeno at some point. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the tough positions that Vegeta puts you in. You're like, I can deal damage, but if I deal damage, I give him 3-4 cards in hand, and then afterwards he can use his leader ability. That's too good. But now 7 energy, we're going to use the Peel Off here. We're going to force cards out of the hand and very likely going to see a Zeno come down afterwards for a catastrophic board wipe.
Oh, another Zeno too. And yeah, we're gonna combo everything. Gonna go to 35, ask for another super combo, but we know the deal. He doesn't have one. And we might have to use our extra cards or maybe even 2 cards to get out of this. We do opt in to get the extra card, the Earth Destroying Blow, be able to ramp or choose the top card of our deck and place it to our hand. We did choose to draw it. It could be some discard fodder for later. You know, this also is a little bit of mind games, right? Could have been a super combo, could have been something else, but it doesn't matter because Zeno is coming down and is gonna not only wipe the board but help you wipe the tears from your face after losing your ability and 7 cost goes on.
Yeah, so very huge tempo swing here. The powerful Zeno here of board wiping, and we are back to Android's turn, but again, how long can you keep on stalling and not attacking the leader up until we're in a position where we can close out the game? You know, maybe we're playing for the mill out here, but I'm a little dubious about that, seeing as how we end up getting a lot of the deck, and we're still we are 3 cards ahead of our opponent on deck out, but trying to play Blue's recursion game can be a little bit tough. So thankfully, droids do have a pretty good swarm game. They can play 4-drop Android into 2-drop Android, draw cards, cycle cards, get a lot of attacks in. And that's what's so powerful about Androids. It's their ability to be able to pick and choose on whether they're going to play go big or go wide. So like you were saying here, having some fodder in hand does allow our player here to be able to kind of pick and choose some draw discards while holding up combo power. So we see here the 2-drop. We have more 2-drops in hand. We've got the 4-drops that we can play for 1 energy. And then we've got Hercule to be able to cycle, as well as the Bulmas being able to dig into our deck. So there is definitely opportunity here for us to be able to dig. But we do need to start pressuring in a way to close out the game, because I just don't see a position of us stalling us out, especially when we know that Vegeta has a peel off here, which means that as an unawakened leader, Vegeta will be able to always pick up 2 peel-offs and then combo them away for big 35k swings. So here we do see Hercule into Earthlings, into the Broly, and now it looks like we've made a decision. It's time to awaken this later.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing where, yeah, we're going to have to make the decision to take the draw, the extra draw here, since you get a draw from playing, and also if you have 6 or more energy on swing. So not the best hand. We're drawing things at the wrong time. Got that extra Broly there, right? So but we do still have the cards we're talking about, right? The 4-cost androids, so that way we can kind of swarm the board. The only downside is that we have so much combo power on board now. If we do end up playing those androids and swinging, we're gonna have to use those, and if we don't, we might get Zeno'd again, right? And it's gonna be kind of tough because we do need all the combo power that we need, or that we can have in our hand and on the field, because being at 2 life is not very safe against a very, very strong Blue Vegeta leader.
Yeah, especially since like you got Zeno'd once, and you don't want to leave too much combo power on board to then just get scooped up by Zeno once again. So
yeah,
Blue definitely feels like the infinite tool deck, where like it can press you in that early game if you're running some of this vanilla package stuff, especially with Videl to get the early recursion started, into things like Zenos and eventually powerful Vegito plays with the secret rare. So here we do see the 4-drop into 4-drop, and then the question is, are we gonna keep pressing? And then, but if we press, we're giving our opponent more cards. I do not envy our Android player here in terms of the decisions that they're required to make.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not even gonna swing. So like, here's the thing, you know, we got Zeno once. The Android player probably thinks like, hey, we're not gonna get another Zeno. You know, that's just not gonna happen. It's not in the cards, you know. But we know the deal. We know that they're okay. He's putting it out already.
And
so we're gonna get
that's like 45k combo power down the drain.
Yeah, that one is a tough one tough pill to swallow, unfortunately. And we're gonna get a 35k swing, asking for another super combo or 2 cards in hand, and that's exactly what we're gonna get. 2 cards in hand. While Zeno is only a lowly 20k power attacker, it doesn't really matter. We have 7 cards in 4 life compared to his 3 cards in 2 life, so it's just not looking too hot for our Android player in this late game.
Yeah, and now it's like you don't want to defend this, but you kind of have to, because now opponent can go into Videl, be able to scoop up another card and press a lot of combo here. There is a possibility for a comeback. We're going to be at 15 energy for our Android player here next turn. So that positions us to be able to play a Broly into potentially something like double strikers or something of the sort. So the bomb plays are coming up where you can chain multiple bombs, but going down to 1 life here when realistically we maybe should have comboed, because now this Videl's a 20k swing. Gonna be able to get ourselves another 10k out of the drop, and we could go all in here, feel very confident. 20k, 30k. Are we gonna press our advantage a little bit more, just say that that is enough? No, we're gonna leave it at a chill 30k. I'm a little bit greedy. I would have said at least a super combo, but here 30k will mean that we're rested out on energy, and Jords will live to see another day.
Yeah, this is the thing of like playing not to lose versus playing to win. You know, we're on our blue Vegeta side. We're just making sure that we don't end up getting scooped on by a Broly and a double striker, just like you were saying. So I think that's what the fear was, and it's understandable. There's a lot of scary things when we go against any kind of green deck. So we're gonna go ahead and defend against this 30k attack from the leader. They're gonna go ahead and play this 8-cost Broly. This leaves us with 6 energy, which is perfect for a 17-18 double striker, or really any other double striker that we can find in the green decks. But we're gonna swing twice for 45k, and let's see how far we get.
All right, decide, you know what, don't have to worry about Zeno, which fair enough. Just gonna go face, but that does provide us some additional cards here. We do know that Zeno's gonna eat 1 card out of our hand if we don't deal with him right here, right now. We do have the Earth Destroying, at least in hand, that can draw us another card, and you know, in a Magical Christmas Land where we can combo Earth Destroying into Earth Destroying, might be able to stabilize here. We'll have to see what the decision is. We have Super Combo, we've got Hercule, so we can actually, we have some pretty solid lines in terms of lining up combo plays, because we can Hercule into more combo power. We've got the Super Combo in hand, we still have the Earth Destroying, so not terrible, but of course we are facing up against blue. So we've got that Gohan there to be very annoying. We've got Sickle as well. So not a phenomenal thing for Hercule to be chilling there. And facing off 1 life versus Vegeta's 3 onto Vegeta's 9 energy turn.
Yeah, that Sickle is not going to do too much for us. And we're going to go ahead and play this Gohan, this 30k. Being able to bottom deck this this Hercule, take away any kind of combo power that they can potentially use, and then go right into a Pilaf, get more combo power for ourselves, and it's getting a little scary now. It's getting a little unreasonable if I had to be our Android 17 player.
Yep. So here goes the Vegeta swing, 35k, 45k, 55, and we still have the defenses to be able to make ourselves out of this position. Super combo. Bulma, 50k. Gonna need a little bit more juice here. Alrighty, so hit that 60, got ourselves over, and now saying I just need to press against this. Likely here to see a couple more peel-off plays for a big juicy swing, but anything is possible with a draw here, potentially going Earth Destroying into Earth Destroying. It is not over yet. We're going to play this peel-off. We're gonna play the peel-off once again, probably get that last peel-off out of our drop.
Yep, we did see 3. A little lucky on our end, right? We're getting a lot of combo power. I think this peel-off is going to get a Videl of some sort or a Bulma. Oh, it's going to be the Trunks. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just dump everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be 60, 70, 80, just 90. What is this? What is this?
There's 110 here.
Okay, we got an Earth Destroying blow and a Dream.
All right, so 45k at a lab to the hand.
He didn't even want to show it. He didn't even want to show it. But hey, that was our game 1. Blue Vegeta takes the victory. We're gonna go right into game 2.
Alrighty, and here we are jumping into. Wait, hold up. What? Oh, true. Okay, this format they had to take 2 different decks.
Huh.
Yeah, and you have to win with 2 different decks. Got it. Yeah.
Okay. Same people, just different decks.
Yep. All right, and here we are jumping into game 2, and we will notice a leader switch. And as a reminder to our viewers, when it comes to these championship matches for those who will be making their way into the grand finals. Both players are playing out in a best of 3 where they're bringing in 2 different decks and need to win with both of those decks to progress onward. So here we see the substitute from Vegeta over to Bardock, which is going to present a very similar-ish style of gameplay in terms of pressing against the opponent and utilizing some phenomenal plays here. Going second is going to be a huge boon, especially with that SS4 Secret Rare in the back pocket to get some very powerful, aggressive early start.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. You know, we switched over from Blue Vegeta to Bardock. 2 completely different colors, but like you said, kind of similar ideas, right? Kind of similar, low to the ground, mostly mid to early game kind of strategies. And as we start off the game, you know, we're going first as Android 17 and 18, or well, Android 17 and then into 18. We're starting out with the Android 18 to draw 1 and discard 1. It's going to help our Dr. Duro whenever that comes, and as well as to clean up our hand and draw throughout our deck. But we go right back to Bardock and see what we can do.
Yeah, so here, such a powerful matchup for our Bardock player, because especially with the SS4, because green just has so much trouble dealing with that 4-drop. You can use an early Big Bang attack, but of course that will cost you more energy than you would like to, and will sacrifice one of your energies in the process. Probably a big reason as to why we're teching into that 7-drop board wipe. In the previous game we saw 2, we already see 1 in hand. So it's one of those things where black can get a lot of early pressure, especially with this 25k right here. Especially with Bardock, who eventually, once awakened, will be able to swing for 25k, and Scry. It's the back-to-back SS4 here presenting what can potentially be a very aggressive start. Opting to not attack with the SS3, interestingly enough, and obviously being a play to say, hey, I'm baiting you into swinging to my leader so I can get awakened as soon as possible.
Yeah, so cool. This 3-drop is so cool. You know, it just kind of allows you to kind of go into these back-to-back Gokus, and just like you're saying, it's such a strong card, right? It's I don't know. There's a lot of cool things about the black color in general and just this deck, and we get a 3rd one. And for our bottom player, I don't think there's anything else that we really need. We did charge our other Goku, so I guess we're assuming that we're going to be attacked to awaken. And honestly, we have a lot of things in our hand, so we may as well just keep the good stuff as we swing 15.
Yes, 100% here. So here, tempted to play the SS4, but figured why not, let's get an attack first in. And SS4, incredibly powerful. 30k battle card that can generate an energy marker on attack, and at the end of the turn, if you've already used an energy marker, then it'll go ahead and draw you cards, and those stack. So it is a phenomenal 4-drop in terms of just the power level it comes out on curve. It nets you cards, so this hand size doesn't go away as you continue to aggro, and it's one of those things that get harder and harder to answer as you get multiple of them down on the board. So here we're going to see our Android player probably try and race their way into 7 to be able to clear that board, but unfortunately looks like we did not draw into any 4-drops here. Potentially we can get there by using a Dr. Gero, and at the very least, if we're able to find ourselves the 4-drop twins, then we'll be able to go into 4-drop twins into our 3-cost ramp. But nope, here just opting to go into 3-cost ramp and leave the next 3 open potentially for defensive plays. So draw, discard here, and we'll see, but very spooky turns here, especially as now Bardock has the life total to awaken.
Yeah, that's the thing about this, as well as most green decks, as we do awaken as Bardock, right into his awaken abilities and his 20k face. You know, it's a bit of a bummer not being able to draw everything. Our hand sizes are a little different in disparity, and you know, like we said before, with these Goku 30k draw or 30k attackers, it's just gonna get more and more out of hand over the next course of the tournament. So we go ahead and opt into drawing something here in Android 18 with the Android 20, and then getting the 2 Bulmas that we did use for combo power with our Hercule. So that's something, you know, getting a little bit of combo power. We're still at 5, and we use all of our energy efficiently.
I think the most important thing here is that next turn we'll be in a position to play the 7-drop. So even if the opponent goes back-to-back SS4s, we'll have an explosive comeback turn. We do know that the opponent's playing it, so at the very least, here our Bardock player has an opportunity to be able to quote-unquote play around it. But hey, if he loses 2 of them, he's still got the 3rd in the back pocket, and now we've got that Bardock to be able to answer anything that might be a little bit too scary if our opponent plays it. So we do have the tools necessary here to not only aggress. Here, Android's going to take it going down to 4 life and will put themselves in a position to attack here. Huge attack from Bardock here with that beautiful animation. And now the aggressor will keep going on. We've got 25k swing and 30k swing already on board. That's going to be able to press some damage. And then the follow-up is just going to be how much do we want to play into a potential board wipe. With the Goku here swing into the leader. 30k swing is going to force at least a super combo or 2 cards. And then have to see what that 5 energy follow-up play is going to be. Could potentially play a double strike, could play another SS4, or could go a little bit more tempo loss, but do a couple of draw cards, maybe play a pan. There's a few decisions to be able to make here, but it all depends on how much we want to respect our opponent's late game.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, I was just, you know, just looking at the Bardock leader swinging and being able to get that 5k for no reason and the draw. I was like, hey, that's kind of strong. And then I realized Android 17 and 18 gets a whole 10k on their turn, so never mind. But the cool thing is that the activate battle during his turn, you can use the top card of your deck if it is a Bardock's crew in a combo. But we're gonna go ahead and try to get these 30k swings from the Goku and as well as the other Goku. They're both technically Goku GTs. And now the back-to-back, like we were saying before, the 4-cost GT Goku, getting another marker as we swing, and probably going to go ahead and draw those cards.
Yep, so powerful swing here. I mean, we forced a lot of cards out of our Android players. All our swings were for essentially 30k, which obviously forces super combo or double card. So even if the opponent does end up dropping down the 7-drop here, at the end of the turn, not only did we force our opponent to have to combo out essentially 6+ cards worth of value from their hand, we're also going to be drawing the additional 2 from these SS4. So this has effectively been a massive 8+ card swing for the Bardock player, which is fantastic. Now, Androids will get a lot of that back as they outcombo this attack and go into their turn being able to board wipe and then follow up with a Broly play after that. But that may not be fast enough, as the opponent will be able to respond with a Bardock to get rid of the double striker and then potentially go into more SS4 plays after that. So I think we're in a much better position here than we were against the Vegeta deck, which thankfully the Android player will not have to play into after all if they manage to win out here. But this does present a bit of a puzzle, and we'll have to see kind of how we get there. But swing here, comboed out, and likely secret rare about to make its entrance here on the board.
Yeah, we're probably going to see the Gohan, which is fine. You know, we're going to go ahead and wipe the board. Just like we were saying, we got the value out of these cards, right? It's okay. Go ahead and get rid of them. That's all right. If I was the Bardock player, I would rather keep them. Hey, sure. But look at my hand, look at yours, and you only have this one low lead card. That's not really going to phase me. 13 cards to your 5, and you already know what I can do with my deck, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. I think that's what our Bardock player is thinking right now. So we do have our option to play the Bardock, the 5-cost. Could be a pretty good idea, or we could play this Power Brothers first, and then into the 4-cost Goku GT.
Yes, the utility of the Power Brothers can't be understated. Right, the fact that we're able to look at any of our opponent's battle cards and be able to stun them down, incredibly powerful, then use it as combo, gets us into those magical above 10k of our attacking targets, which will force a take here. So effectively nullifying a huge attacker for the turn, then providing some combo power that gets you into range to make it very annoying for you to be able to come out of it. And now we're in a position again where we can just hit down another SS4, be able to draw cards, and press another 30k attacker into the opponent when they've got no energy, which can be very annoying here. So now we do have to play careful, because Power Brothers is just for one turn, and if the opponent gets the right set of draws between their Broly on the subsequent turn, then it's, you know, the turn after that will be Broly into another 50k swing into the 30k swing of the leader. So huge hand size advantage here for our Bardock player, but with the amount of bombs that are in position for the Android player, definitely opportunity to come back.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. We're getting the 10k combos back, keeping our hand size above that 10, 11 hand size. This, man, it is actually crazy that we drew into one. We grabbed one with the Hercule, and we're setting down that 7 cost Gohan. And yeah, man, it's honestly, we played 3 different Gokus, GTs that is, and I would be very annoyed at this point from Android 17's perspective. You
Yeah.
hate to see him come, that kind of thing. So
Yep.
we can't respond with our 8-cost Broly. That's going to be a lot out of our hand, but we do have a pretty healthy hand, a lot of 10Ks, a couple super combos on Bardock's end. So it's just really the decision tree of what to do for our Android 17 player. But the thing is that you only have 6 cards in hand, right? You have 8 energy, 6 cards in hand. You may as well go ahead and play the Broly. Sure, our Gohan is stunned here. It might get stunned next turn, but most likely the Broly is going to be targeted for that if that's the case. So I think it's a pretty easy decision just to play the 8-cost Broly, but we'll see if he ends up doing that.
Oh,
okay.
I guess we decided not to. Very interesting here, since I get it. So the idea being here that Broly is probably not going to be able to win us the game. So we want to put a play out that applies pressure and then still leaves the opportunity to be able to go potentially double Hercule, lift up our hand with some more combo power to be able to defend against the next turn. So I do think it's a little bit sad that we had to combo or charge away a Broly at the start of the turn. So wouldn't have given us the ability to go back to back Broly's. But I do respect this play. It very high likelihood means that we're not going to see this SS4 go away, which is a very powerful attacker here on the Bardock side. But I do understand the rationale that we want to establish as much combo power as possible. If not to oppress, at least to be able to defend and successfully get to another turn. And here, if you're worried about the 10x Kamehameha, you can just actually combo away the Hercule to then swing for 30k on the opposing leader and hope you can close out the game afterwards. We'll have a 50k, our Android 17 player here probably thinking, well, I've got the 50k with my Gohan here on the next turn. I've got my 30k swing, and then I still got that Broly in that back pocket. So with the Broly, another Broly if we ever end up going to at that point in the game. So it's a tough call, because obviously you're in a position right now where you're leaving a very powerful card on the board. But I understand the need to want to give yourself the best chance to defend until the next turn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it also depends on your play style, right? If you're the type of person who wants to have more options than to have like a more linear thing, which we drew into another Broly, a little tough, but we did get that combo power. We do have a few more options. We're gonna go ahead and get a couple more cards out of our drop. We did the math in order to have our extra card on deck for the falling turn on our defense, so that way we have that 25k combo. But it is a little scary. We have seven energy as Bardock, and while sure, we have a pretty decent amount of cards on board that we can combo, and a couple cards in our hand to combo, it doesn't look too bright. And we did opt to oh yeah, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, I was like, we need to swing with the Gohan. I forgot it's
a little stun work there from the Para brothers.
Yeah, pretty powerful card. We're probably gonna see that again this turn as well. Not for the Broly, but it's gonna be for that Gohan. So a couple of decisions that we have to do when it comes down to it for our Bardock player. And it looks like we're gonna start out with the Jiru. I can never say his name. Jiru.
Yeah, it's so close to Dr. Jiro. I was thinking Dr. Jiro. But what's a lot of fun about these Para brothers, which as we draw into our last one from the deck, is that we did have a world in which we could have utilized it, and then the energy marker would have gotten back for free. It would have been really cool here. So either way, we opt to not to. We're just going to present the Bardock here. And what's cool is that Bardock's Activate Battle can be used against any card. So here, we can actually juice up our Bardock with the cards we have on board, 30k, 40k, and here use the Activate Battle, be able to get rid of either combo power or the 50k on board. We're going to hit that secret rare here. Now 40k swing into the androids here. We do have some combo on board. Okay, you know what? Saying 45. You know what? Saying those Hercules are not going to be enough. Let's just make sure we get another 10k out of that.
Yeah, I think they're probably thinking, a lot of Green's extra cards get up to 45k just by using it, and we're probably going to go ahead and see that here. As we actually combo 2 of the cards on our board, just afraid that we might get those removed too. So hey, I don't blame them, because that one cost got popped and KO'd, and it's gone. Now we want to use everything on our board when we can. So we're gonna go ahead and swing with our GT Goku, get back that energy marker that we were using before. And we can still use, the Para Brothers if we really wanted to, just as an option. We'll see.
The free combo here from the Bardock always feels nice when you hit it. But smart awareness on the previous attack to get above to the 25 threshold, like you're saying, because there is that Earth Destroying in hand. It's very telegraphed here from the Ninja player. So we'll have to see if we're going to go for that 45 again here, or if we're just going to leave it and say, you know what, that's fine this time around. I'll let you have your Earth Destroying. You do want to put yourself in a position to have a clean double strike if you can, especially knowing that your opponent's not in a great position to be able to crack back. But no, looks like we're just going to leave it at 35k here, and it's going to see a Earth Destroying to defend. And then we'll have to see, that'll be a draw, which will be the Twins, which again can play out in a flood strategy, or at the very least just be a 10k combo. The fact that those are 10ks, incredibly powerful.
Yeah, it's getting a little bleak though, because we still have our Barhawks going to be bleeding. So we're gonna go ahead and pair the 17-18 on the board, and then go to 45 double into his 3 life. And we see our hand, it's not going to be very good to combo everything off out of our hand, so we might just take these 2, which is not going to be super favorable, but looks like we are going to go ahead and just dump the hand.
Broly's in a dream, baby.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. We had just enough. That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, we're gonna drop down 2 cards. It's not looking too hot, and we get the extra draw on Bardock just for the salt in the wound. And yep, well, Bardock in a dream, just like you were saying. Let's see if that gets far here with our leader swing.
Yeah. So we got the third game. We don't need to charge right now. Might as well keep that combo power in hand and give ourselves the potential for back-to-back Brolys. Swing here potentially on the SS4. And then the question's like, all right, first we'll start off with the Broly. We'll get that card draw. We do get a 5k combo, not necessarily what we want to see. And we are going to choose to pop the double striker and then just kind of swing out some gas here. Which, like, I don't totally mind protecting this SS4 either, but it looks like we're just going to let it go. So Droids cleared the board. We've got a 30k swing and a 45k swing, and saying, you know what, I just gotta get there next turn. But Bardock has a pretty saucy hand, so I don't think he particularly minds getting a little bit of card draw before going into what he's hoping to likely be his closing out turn.
Yeah, I mean, they're at 3, our Android player, so it's gonna be a little harder to take game. But they only have 4 cards in hand. We still have a double striker in hand. We still have a bunch of 10k combos, and we opt not to even swing with our Broly, which is interesting because when you think about it, that Broly can get popped at any time. We have our Bardox, right? We can draw into them and play them, and there's other ways to KO cards. So it's interesting that we didn't swing with that, didn't swing with the 17-18, but I think the mindset is to play a little more safe, right? We only have 4 cards in hand, don't want to give him more cards. They were very willing to go down to 3, and this is potentially their last turn. So I think that's what the mindset was for our Android 17 player, and I don't blame them at all. So we're gonna see what we do on Bardock's end, because we do have a good amount of options.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a total of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75 combo just in hand. Of course, Hercule, if we're able to generate an energy marker, be able to get another one of those. So Kakarot coming down on board, we'll be able to bottom deck a card from our hand. It looks like it'll be that very Hercule to generate an energy marker, and of course that energy marker saying Para Brothers are going to come down and keep that Broly just where he is, which is very nice, because then we can utilize our Bardock ability to be able to get rid of combo power on the board instead, making it harder for our opponent to defend. So very interesting here to opt to not play the Para Brothers right away. We're going to use the Bardock ability. I believe that was a whiff, and we are going to combo, getting in that 25k here, being able to use our Bardock ability and say bye-bye to that 10k combo, and then leaving up 2 energy. We did draw into that Hercule, very nice, being able to give us another 10k combo, and then we can Para Brothers. So 45k what we're representing here to the opponent, and fortunately for our Android player, just does not have the means to be able to get out of this attack. And we'll have to see what the top deck here is, but looking like a closeout, and that Kakarot for a clean 50.
We're just doing the math here. There's only so many cards you can use. We already used a couple of different super combos on Android 17-18's field, or hand really, and 50k looks like it's gonna do it. It's too much. Even with a couple super combos, that might be a little too much in general anyway. So we're going to go ahead and take them down to 2. We have our Bardock on board. And we have a pair of brothers just killing it in our hand. We drew into a card that we can't even combo. It is getting more and more bleak for 17 and 18 players as we get to the end of this game. And it looks like Jiru